The Vision to Action Symposium series on sustainability in the built environment is an ongoing series of regional conferences that facilitate provocative, strategic conversations around bold, visionary initiatives gaining momentum in specific regions of the Pacific Northwest.
The following presentations are from the March 5th, 2015 Vision to Action Symposium at the University of Washington, Tacoma. The topic was Adapting to Low-Impact Development, the New World of Stormwater Management. In this video, Gomer Roseman, Director of Site Development and Construction for Tacoma-Pierce County Habitat for Humanity, shares a case study in low-impact development at The Woods at Golden Given, a diverse low-income housing project of 30 homes just south of Tacoma. Habitat for Humanity makes affordable home ownership in safe communities a reality for many families facing a housing crisis. To see all 9 videos in this series, visit www.vision2action.us.
Thank you, Chris. Well, my name's Gomer Roseman. I'm with Habitat for Humanity, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about a residential low-impact development project that we are currently doing just south of the Tacoma city limits. It's called The Woods at Golden Given, and it's about 7¼ acres, and it is located north of 512 approximately at the corner of Golden Given Road and 104th. I'm going to just give you a little background on the houses and the project, and then I'll get into the low-impact development details. Current status of the project, it's a 30-home development. 12 homes are currently occupied. We have 8 that are under construction or with permits pending, and the houses range from 2 bedrooms to 7 bedrooms. Currently the 20 families that are in these homes or slated for these homes total about, I think, 63 kids in all, and there's a total of 7 languages spoken among all these families, so it's a very, very diverse community. On the project side, we've won a couple of awards with this one from the American Council of Engineering Companies for social, economic, and sustainable design, and we also got an award in 2013 from the Washington Aggregates and Concrete Association for our pervious concrete. We're about housing people, so we're an affordable housing program. Try to build sustainable houses. The homes that we build are They exceed code requirements for insulation, high efficiency. They're high performance houses, basically. We build them tight to reduce air infiltration and keep the heating costs down. We install HRVs, which are heat recovery ventilation systems, so the exhaust air that goes out of the house heats up the air, the makeup air that comes into the house. All of the homes have Energy Star appliances and Energy Star lighting packages. Because the homes are tight, we also have to reduce the use of volatile organic chemicals. So all of the adhesives, all the products that we use on the interior of the home are low VOC products. We use no emission particle board and medium density fiberboard. Every home has fire sprinklers, and we make very limited use of carpeting just for the reduction of allergies and that sort of thing. The homes are all triple certified under Energy Star, under Built Green at the 4-star level, and under the Evergreen Sustainable Development Standard, which has components for location, site, and the structure. So this is kind of an overview of the project. Like I said, it's about 7¼ acres, 30 homes. The homes, as you can see, are kind of around the perimeter. There's a common green space in the center. And within this common green space, there's some amenities, a couple of age-appropriate play areas for small children, sports court, tetherball court. We also have on the far east side of the property a sports field and a community garden area, and there is a common house that is yet to be constructed that will be for a kind of a meeting place and sort of not really a clubhouse, but kind of a common space that everybody can share. This was a very tricky site to develop. It has features some wonderful glacial till soil and a lot of low-lying areas, so we really had to do some workarounds. And we did enhance the wetlands that are there, and I think that it's actually they're an asset to the property. And by the way, I also want to mention that our project is Salmon Safe certified. There was about 500 trees on the property. An arborist actually cataloged each one of them. And the county required us to retain a minimum of 196. We managed to save about 300 of those trees. And we've lost a couple since then due to wind and storms and stuff like that. But the trees that we did cut down were either kept on site and ground up and used for mulch on the project area, or they were sent to a nearby mill and milled into paneling and different forms of lumber that were actually used or will be used in each one of the houses. So every house has a paneled wall or a ceiling or something that's made from the wood that was growing on the property. We've used native, adaptive, and ornamental edibles in our landscaping, trying to minimize the amount of irrigation that's necessary and use plants that are drought resistant and fit in with the environment. And there's also, I should have mentioned, there's 10 rain gardens on the property. This is a couple of the newly planted ones. We've tried to innovate a little bit and have included some fruit trees and blueberries in the rain gardens to also use them as sort of a passive food source. And this year we're going to experiment with cranberries and huckleberries and see how those do. So here's an aerial shot of the site. We've got about 1 acre of pervious pavement on the site. You can see it's different colors. The roadway is an emergency vehicle access, and the fire marshal wanted us to put signs up all over the place that said, "No parking, don't park here, emergency vehicle access." So we said, well, how about if we just put different colored pavement down and we tell them drive on the gray and park on the red? And they said, oh yeah, that'll be okay. So that's what we did. That's the reason for the different colors. Some of the sidewalks are actually part of that emergency vehicle access, just to make up the minimum. You can also sort of see some of the rain gardens that are roughed in on the site. This next shot is maybe a little bit better. You can see this manhole right in the foreground here, and that was kind of an interesting dilemma that we encountered too. When we started designing this and putting it all together and went to get our permit from Pierce County Utilities, they realized that there was no standard for a manhole to be impervious concrete. So we had to work with Pierce County Utilities to create a standard for a manhole impervious concrete, because obviously they don't want stormwater seeping into their sewer. And so what we came up with was just this little, it's like a little, I think it's about an 8-inch collar around it. We did it in exposed aggregate. And you know, this is just one of the little things that you encounter with something new like this. Whenever you do something for the first time, it's always easier the second time. You know, typically when you develop a plat or a subdivision like this, the franchise utilities want to come in after the road is done. And that's their expectation, is there's going to be curb and gutter and road, and the electrical utility is going to come in first, and the gas company is going to follow them, and then the cable guys, and then the telephone company, and that's just the way they do it. Well, you know, with pervious pavement like this, dirt is the enemy. You don't want loose dirt on your pervious pavement because it's going to clog it up. So you have to sequence things a little bit differently and get those franchise utilities in there before the road is in. And they don't like it. You know, the only people in the world that like change are babies with dirty diapers. And it's hard to, you know, it can be hard to work with people when you're doing something that they're not used to. And I mentioned the dirt being a problem. it is a problem. Anytime that we move dirt on site, we have to protect the pavement. So it means putting down a layer of visqueen, putting oriented strand board on top of it so that a machine can run over it, so that any dirt that spills can be, kind of swept up and kept off the pavement. The other thing that we've had to add to our toolkit is a leaf blower. That's probably one of the best things you can have to get dirt off the concrete without driving it into the concrete. So this isn't actually at the Woods. This is another development that we did in Lakewood, but this isn't pretty. This is pervious concrete, and it's a curve that people, maybe it's too sharp. They tend to drive off the road a little bit there, and pretty soon the grass gets torn up, and then it turns to mud, and then the mud gets tracked onto the, and that's problematic. That had to be cleaned up. You see these pamphlets and stuff from the American Concrete Association, and they show you all this high-tech equipment, these trucks that come out and vacuum up your pervious concrete. Well, we haven't been able to find anybody in Pierce County that owns a truck like that. The Evactor truck guys come out, and it's basically kind of like a glorified shop vac operation. I mean, and when you've got an acre of pervious pavement, that takes a lot of time. And it's not cheap. And we've experimented with this a little bit, and it seems like the best way to clean pervious pavement is, we've done test patches of different things. Am I running out of time here? Sorry. Is to pressure wash it and then vacuum it. So I guess the question would be, would I do this again? And I think I would. And actually, I think probably in a few years I won't have a lot of choice about it either. So that seems to be the way that things are going. So thanks very much. I appreciate it. Have a good day.